I told you. It was only a matter of time. All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jeff, and we're back here on Call of Duty Vanguard, the consensus worst Call of Duty ever produced. This game is a slap in the face to all Call of Duty players. It's garbage. Nobody likes it. Dead game. Now, the ironic part about all of those things about this game is, number one, they're true. Number two, Modern Warfare 2 is interestingly on par, and by some people's opinions, either slightly better than Vanguard or even slightly worse than Vanguard. So when I asked that question, I really wanted to see how many people really who are currently hating on Modern Warfare 2, the current year installment, is it so bad that you would say it's worse than Vanguard? So we're here over on Vanguard. Now, I'm sure that people wouldn't want to do it, but on yesterday's video, the Call of Duty mobile video, I asked for like 30 or 40,000 likes for me to start doing the camo grind over there. That video almost has 40,000 likes, by the way, which is thank you for that though. But if you guys, for whatever reason, want more Vanguard videos in the future, leave a like on this video and let me know. So again, I'm gonna ask, would you rather play Modern Warfare 2, which is in a setting that more people like, has gunplay that more people seem to like more? Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, has better maps than Vanguard. There's a reason why I played on Das Haus and Shipment the entire year, given I've done that with like the past like 3 or 4 years at this point. But next up, what is the next biggest turnoff about this game? To me, in my opinion, the biggest slap in the face and number one immediately to like the value of the game, this game's campaign, number one, really wasn't that great. It really wasn't. I did a whole playthrough on it. You can go check it out if you want. But also, the zombies experience was inexcusably bad. I never thought that they would actually produce a game like that. They fucked up on going back to World War II. I actually really love the pace of Vanguard. I'm gonna give Vanguard some credit, and I already had throughout the entire year when I was playing it. Oh, we got a lobby, nice. I love the pace of Vanguard. I know some people cry and complain about, you know, the super fast paces. They don't think that like there's any thought process to it, but in my opinion, I kind of like it that way. So like if a map was shit on this game, you can kind of save the map's pacing by just changing the pacing to blitz. I love combat pacing. I was always a fan of combat pacing. Now some people aren't fans of combat pacing though. They're really not. Oh man. Oh my, oh my. The movement immediately feels so nice on this game. So one thing that Vanguard has over Modern Warfare 2, movement's better. Combat pacing is there, movement is better. Whenever I'm giving compliments to this game though, again, understand, Vanguard is a bad Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2 is boring. Vanguard is a bad game. I think if Vanguard was set in a setting with potentially different maps and things like that for multiplayer, and Sledgehammer wasn't so terrible at like fixing a lot of the problems on here, like they were communicating that they were trying their best, and they said that they fixed something like 3 or 4 times, and then it doesn't actually fix it. It was crazy. Hey, remember also, whenever we get Modern Warfare 2.5, 3, whatever at the end of this year, remember that we are working with Sledgehammer here. They are willing to make changes to the game, but we also need to really spell it out for them. I'm talking like whenever you experience a bug, I mean like take all the pictures, take the videos, try to see if you can replicate it or even figure out what is potentially causing it before you even show it to them. It was crazy too because this was how people had to treat Raven over on Modern Warfare Remastered. We had to argue with Raven about how collaterals work. We had Raven telling us that triples and quads weren't possible on Modern Warfare Remastered or the original Call of Duty 4 when we literally had a plethora of montages, hours, days worth of montages and footage of people hitting triples, quads, also having to prove to them that the ACOG did in fact improve your damage on COD 4. We also had to prove that to them and actually explain to them that having host also made a difference, and you also couldn't do it in private matches. We had to explain the intricacies of the game to the creators. So a lot of people are like, oh, that's so embarrassing for Sledgehammer. It's embarrassing for Activision as a whole. All 3 of the studios are just at the end of the day, even though I am comparing this game to Modern Warfare 2, at the end of the day, we as the players still just lost. Modern Warfare 2 honestly could be great. It really could have been, but they went this odd route. Now obviously the game still has players, there are still people out there that absolutely enjoy the game, but they'd be lying if they said that, you know, they had everybody chomping at the bit to play Modern Warfare 2 with them and be super hype and excited about every single update and that everything was just great. Likely whenever they look into anything about the game outside of just their own perspective, they would see that literally the game is on fire in terms of public opinion and anyone that actually criticizes it and isn't just like mindlessly consuming it and only playing, you know, maybe a day or 2 a week or some shit like that, which really is the target audience. So it makes a whole lot of sense why they aim for that kind of stuff. But again, they have so many years in a row where they didn't necessarily aim for that, and it was still a success. So that's where it gets frustrating a long-time player, because you've seen the different ways that they were able to handle the game. You've seen the consistencies and inconsistencies of every single studio and Activision as a whole. And if they would just take different things that were successful and put them together, it would be great. But it just very rarely actually lines up. Game creation is hard. The communication is difficult, especially when it goes through all of these different different filters of information and people. It's like that one game where you would tell somebody a rumor or something, and then by the time that rumor goes through like 10 people, it ends up being a completely different rumor by the end of it. I feel like that's the thing that happens with a lot of the communication on this game. But I'm starting to realize that they kind of start accepting those problems with their game and their design as like part of the game's just identity in general. Infinity Ward is especially bad at just like hard committing to bad design ideas. And while it's respectable, it'd be really nice if they actually made a good design first. I mean, says me, right? The armchair dev. They genuinely think that all of us as players have no idea at all about what could be good or bad for the game just because we don't create it. It's this weird dynamic where they think that basically like some developers are literally the only people capable of being able to have a say in whether or not something is or isn't fun or good or bad for the game. Also, while you watch other companies clearly and concisely explain most, if not all, of their changes, and there are no ghost changes either. I'm gonna keep going back to it. Riot Games and League of Legends. None of them are perfect, but they're way more consistent. At least when I played in like Season 5. You would very rarely ever find some sort of ghost change that they intentionally made, but didn't include in the patch notes. There would be bugs, there would be things that would happen unintentionally from certain changes, but it was very rare for a character's damage, for example, to change on an ability and that not be noted. Now, I'm really gonna miss the movement on here, but at the same time, I'm happy in a way that like I get to save my thumb. I mean, I'm just gonna keep shooting. Honestly, dude, I actually really fuck with Das House. I saw that Ghost of Hope did a poll asking whether or not you would want Shipment again for the year or Das House instead. Honestly, I wouldn't hate Das House. I was on a brutal. I was about to drop a V2. Also, another thing, if everything goes to plan, I'm incredibly good at Sledgehammer games. Sledgehammer are the only games where I casually and by accident start dropping nukes. I have the most success on Sledgehammer games in multiplayer. I stomp Sledgehammer games, all of them. I remember I would accidentally be dropping sniping nukes. I wasn't even going for it. I would just go through the entire streak not realizing that I hadn't died. Now, while I still say that this game is bad, I still do think that design-wise, this game is better than Modern Warfare 2 in multiple ways. Movement being one of them. I think map design is much better on Modern Warfare 2. That's just my opinion. Even though I'm only playing Shoot House and Shipment, whatever, I still think the Modern Warfare 2 map designs are still pretty decent. There's like maybe 2 good maps on Vanguard. You can put 10 attachments on your weapon, so every single thing that I would build on this game was like crazy. You had the proficiencies, the kit. I actually really like this. I like the proficiencies and kits. It was a similar thing that they did over on Modern Warfare 3 where they also had weapon proficiencies. I actually really like that. Also, forward intel as a perk is broken. I was telling people, if you just put on the forward intel perk, if you're a player that has no idea how to like learn spawns or anything, put that perk on, literally stare at your minimap, and you'll do so much better. Like 40% of Call of Duty's gameplay is minimap use and spawn knowledge. I got on last night and I almost dropped 200 kills. I'm not even joking. When I look at recent games, I literally dropped, I had like a 196 kill game yesterday. I got on and just, dude, I am so sad that I didn't get 200 kills right there. 196, man. Fuck. This game's pace is incredible. I love how fast this game is. I know some people don't like it. This isn't even a fast move speed build either. The general base movement speed on this game was great. I also love that there's no jump shot penalty in this game. Look at this. Me jumping, it doesn't matter. I could just ADS as fast as I want. The only thing that's kind of sluggish about this game is that you need to build up momentum in order to get your tac sprint going, but it's not really that bad considering I can still slide cancel. Now, it's not resetting the tac sprint in the same way, but still, generally, I still have an option of movement where I'm not just stuck. Just from playing this game, I'm more excited about Sledgehammer games. It's fucked up, I know. Bad game and all that shit, but some of the design stuff, the lobbies are incredibly different now than they used to be, though. Let's not act like the game I'm playing right now is the game that we were playing the entire year. I remember when this game was filled with fire and explosions and bugged airstrike things that lasted a minute long. Look at this. I know that they're spawning there, and I just have to keep shooting. I have a 100-round drum with barely any penalties. I mean, there's a lot of heavy penalties on there, but I can have 10 attachments that make up for those heavy penalties. It's so good. You can build, like, almost any weapon all around because of how ridiculous the thing is. 102 kills. The other dude got 139. You can accidentally drop 100. And this is Das House. It's not even Shipment. Honestly, I wouldn't hate to get Das House back, but the issue, like, Das House was very annoying because Das House is, like, super angle heavy. And also, the way that all of the walls were paper thin in Vanguard was also super annoying because you would just get wall banged through everything. A lot of my LMGs, I would do like this ultra bullet penetration build that would go through almost anything on the map. It was super annoying. At the end of the day, Vanguard throughout the entire year was a pretty miserable experience, but it does definitely have some good things about it that if they were in the current year of Modern Warfare 2, I think a lot of the things that this game did right would have kept Modern Warfare 2 in a better position. Movement being one of them. I think more people will agree about the movement, but generally, Vanguard is never really going to be considered a quote good Call of Duty or quote underrated. Vanguard's a bad game, but Modern Warfare 2 is boring. I would say that Vanguard is less boring, whatever that means. I think some people understand what I'm saying, though. Let me know down in the comment section again, would you rather be playing another year of Vanguard or another year of Modern Warfare 2? I'm really curious to see where people land on this.